What's the worst thing that I've seen happen to a child molester in prison? It has to be the story of my cellmate, Country. And yes, this story is brutal. And what led up to what's behind me, the story of how he viciously wiped out a chomo, you have to see how it all started. I knew Country for about 2 years. We were in confinement for 8 months together, and this was not a criminal. I know that sounds crazy because there are a lot of dudes, yes, they go after child molesters, but they do it because they love violence, but they don't want to hurt innocent people. They don't want to bully people. So they go after the ones they know they can inflict the most damage for and get the most reward. Others do it just like you and I, where we see that and say, I wish I had 5 minutes alone with them. Well, in prison, we do every single day. A lot of us been hurt, tormented, fucked over by the system, but this story of Country is a whole nother level. Country and I just finished doing about a year in confinement. He was my cellmate for about 4 or 5 months in there. In confinement in Florida, there's no air conditioning. In the summer, it's 110 degrees in your cell. They don't open the windows. They don't give you toilet paper. You can't call anybody. You don't shower maybe 4 or 5 times a month. In the winter, in the panhandle where it snows, they put the exhaust fans on and pull the air in from outside, so you're freezing. It's torture. It's hard time back there. They do gladiator fights. Sometimes dudes will be in there fighting for 15 minutes. Hits go on back there, and nothing gets done about it. That's where Ricky Martin was put in the cell, where he was beaten and raped to death back there because he told on the gladiator fights. His officers put him in the cell with somebody they know would do that to him. It's a very Machiavellian environment. And you either learn to be the best version of yourself back there or the worst. But men break back there. Not because the isolation they can't handle. It's because they can't handle themselves. They either love themselves and they survive and thrive under any situation, or the silence becomes too loud and it breaks them down because they hate themselves. Anyway, so Country told me about his case. And it's one of the most fucked up cases I've ever heard. So one night we were going over his case. And I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. It almost brought tears to my eyes. Because I know some of these kids that were destroyed by the system. And when he read it to me, it went like this. In 2008, his daughter had told him some bad things happened to her. She was only 5, maybe 6 at the time. So he did what any parent would do and called the police. They didn't give a fuck. They almost mocked him. He was like shaking. I saw the dark of his eyes, almost like a great white shark before he kills, just nothing. And he go on to say he tried everything. He go to DCF, every agency, said they would do nothing. I asked him, I said, why didn't you just go and just blow the dude's brains out? He said he found out that the mother is the one that put his daughter in some of these positions over and over again. And instead of speaking up and saying she made a mistake, she didn't want to get in trouble and lose her other kids and lose her benefits, so she stonewalled him. I'm like, damn, man, this hits too close to home, for real. I know a lot of y'all can relate. So he kept reading, and you got to understand, in confinement, to paint the picture, you hear nothing but banging on the wall, people screaming, getting beat, stabbed, officers doing cell extractions, but I'm just locked in on this, man. Country says, I was just frazzled, man. I didn't know what to do. I even went and got psychiatric help for her and me. The psychologist told me how to do certain things, play therapy. I tried that. I tried to get injunctions. They took them off. And the guy kept coming around the mom's house. And they wouldn't break the custody order, even though this was going on in her home. He just said, nope. Kid's testimony doesn't hold weight, basically. So his daughter came back again. She said something worse happened. So at this point, he wants to snap. He really does. But he said, dawg, I waited one more time. I went to the system. I have more proof this time. I took her to the hospital. I said, damn. I go, did something happen? I put injunctions in. The hospital seen it. She had an injury. It correlated, a bruise. It correlated to what she said had happened. He says, bro, I called them again. They came there. Everything was looking good. You know, they took her statement and they left. He said, I didn't bring her back. And she was telling him so much more crazy stuff that he even called the police again and DCF again, you know, Child Protective Services. And they came, took some more information. He showed him the stuff about the hospital stuff and said, I think I'm gonna bring her to another pediatric facility, not just the emergency room. So they leave, and he's like, man, what the fuck? He's wondering why she's still able to get custody. This guy's not off the streets and he could hurt them. He's in fear for his daughter. He locks her in the house. He's saying she can't leave. I mean, he's homeschooling her. I mean, he just doesn't know what to do. No one's helping. Weeks go by, no one's doing anything. She's saying all types of stuff that is just worse and worse, and he's just devastated. But he knows he cannot kill this man. He cannot do any of that, because if he goes away, then she's left with nothing. So the day comes. He gets a knock on the door. 8 sheriffs are there with DCF. He's thinking there's an arrest made or something made. Nah. They take his daughter away. Say that the mom wrote a petition or something saying that he's ruining her mental health. He's showing paper after paper, witnesses, facts, injuries, letters from the doctors. This isn't just some made up custody shit. He could care less. He's already moved on. The daughter's screaming, don't take me back there. I'm gonna die. Please, daddy. All this stuff, man. He's crying. Dude, listen to this, man. Really broke my heart. But this is reality. I've seen it firsthand. So he doesn't know what to do. But he knows that baby cannot go back there. He cannot. It can't happen. They bring him to some kangaroo court, and they say that he needs to get supervised visits. He can't understand what's going on. He's getting penalized for doing the right thing. He didn't get caught doing anything. And what makes it even worse is the mother had just failed a drug test, and they don't care. So they basically said you can get 2-hour visits, whatnot, this and that, supervised on Zoom by Child Protective Services. He's like, oh, they're going to kill my daughter. They are. And never been in trouble in his life. So he said he snapped. He went and found first the DCF agent. He said, fuck this. Just show me the paperwork, everything. Caught him right there. Came there with one of his friends. I mean, his friend was just as mad as he was. Once he read the article, they didn't even review half the shit. He said he pulled out his gun. Dude was begging for his life. He just saw his daughter's eyes in it. But he had no choice. He said, if I don't do this, daughter's going to keep getting hurt. I hate to be the martyr, but I have no choice. The dude's still talking shit, trying to apologize, beg for his life, say it wasn't his fault. And he blows out his brains. But it doesn't end there. He then tells me he put a tracker on the car of the person that did it to his daughter. Followed him out to the woods where he was fishing or something like that. And he said things got ugly. Started showing me pictures, blood everywhere. I said, well, were you worried after this if, what would happen to your daughter? He said, brother, they took my kid away and put him back in the house of the child molesters, the evil ones, because I did the right thing, lied and covered up paperwork. He said, let me tell you what I did to this chomo first, and I'll tell you why I wasn't worried about my daughter ever getting hurt again. He said he put a tracker on the guy that did his car, found him in the woods fishing, and slit his throat. He said, dude, that was better than anything else in my life I've ever felt. Give him a lot of justice. He said he didn't run, do anything like that. He stood over that dead body, cut it up a few more times, carved some stuff in it, and went to prison. He said he doesn't know how, but I guess the mother somehow signed papers and gave his mom, the grandma, full custody rights of their daughter. Facing the death penalty, he would ultimately get 2 life sentences. Fast forward, we get out of confinement, still on CM, controlled movement. They put a child molester in our unit, and this is when they still had the weights in the Florida prison system. I still smell the blood of this today. That copper smell, that metallic smell never goes away. Getting ready for yard, the officers were beating the shit out of the chomos as always. I told them the mission, get him in a blind spot, hit his ass up. He hurt many, many children. This was the way he did time. He compartmentalized all the pain. He just waits. He's watching the chomo from a distance. Officers are looking away. He's got the ice pick sharpened up, a rusty screw and a pen. He's waiting. He sees him look away. This is when he picks it up, and he just hits him right in the neck. Dude doesn't even know what hit him. Blood is just coming out everywhere. Country wipes it on his face like Braveheart and says, freedom! Still have dreams about that. Leave our kids alone. Stay out, stay free.